Well, hello and welcome to Life on Board Amy Joe, and continuing our cruise on the lovely Llangollen canal. You can't see it, but behind you is a beautiful vista of a lake. I'll do some video of that later.
We can turn the thing round.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll do it in a minute. Yeah. So
But
where are we now?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's Blakemere, near Ellesmere. It's one of our favourite parts. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. It's all tree lined, and we'll show you in a minute, but it's a beautiful spot. It's my favourite spot on the whole canal, actually, to be moored here. So we're continuing our journey today. We're going to go into Ellesmere and get a bit of shopping, because there's a huge Tesco's in there, and then we're going to carry on up the canal. Now, the Llangollen canal is a lot longer than people tend to think it is, and we're only about, believe it or not, only about just under 2/3 of the way along the canal. So we've still got a ways to go yet, so we'll get underway, shall we?
Yes, let's get going.
See you later. I'd hoped to film with this as a backdrop to us while we were doing the intro, but we were just shadows. But what a view, huh? In this episode we cover 2 days of cruising on the Llangollen canal. And it sees us leaving our moorings at the lovely Blakemere lake, and after a brief stop at the Ellesmere arm for shopping, we continued our cruise past Frankton Junction and on past the Jack Mitten closed pub, up the 2 Newmarton locks and across the Chirk Aqueduct. So having spent a lovely evening at the Blakemere lake, it was time to move on, and this time it was Ian's turn to take the lead as he passed us while we were getting the boat ready. On arrival at the Ellesmere arm, we started our turn into it, only to discover a boat was reversing out of the arm. But it wasn't a problem. The couple on the boat were quite happy to hold station while we got ourselves slipped into the mooring alongside them, just inside the arm entrance, and they could then carry on their way. We were lucky to get this mooring spot, because usually mooring space in the arm is at a premium and it's nearly always full of boats. But as we came in, the first spot was free, so we jumped in. After that short stop in the arm, we got back underway again once we'd stocked up with all the goodies and supplies that we needed. Meantime, Simon had got on to the services just up ahead and was doing the usuals. Ellesmere Yard ahead has a unique heritage status as the UK's only remaining operational canal yard dating back to 1806. It was the office and workshops of the former Ellesmere Canal Company, set up by Thomas Telford, the pioneer architect and engineer of both the Llangollen and the Montgomery canals. It remains a working yard to this day, an operational base for Canal and River Trust, who take care of over 2,000 miles of waterways in England and Wales. The site includes a variety of small workshops and spaces, including stores, a dry dock, offices and the iconic beach house on the corner. The site is also home to a heritage blacksmith and his company, who runs a forge. Early stage plans for the future of the yard see it as a hub for canal operations, making and design stable, sustainable land use, heritage crafts, social enterprise and with public activities that celebrate its significant heritage. Nonetheless, it's an impressive place as you pass by. These look really nice lodges.
Oh, real.
And we shall look into them for a weekend.
We're off to the Caribbean for 2 weeks on the 19th of November, so it should be nice.
Yes.
Just after the bridge ahead is Frankton Junction, which is the start of the Montgomery Canal. But as you can see, there were two ladies talking across the canal, and we interrupted their conversation. But I do hope she enjoyed the holiday she was planning. The canal fell into disuse following the breach in 1936 and was officially abandoned in 1944. But with the revival of canal use in the late 20th century, the Monmouthshire Canal, as it was known, is now slowly being restored. The canal does not and never did go to the town of Montgomery. Later we made a quick stop for a gas bottle replacement at what we call the Mr. Men Wharf. It's actually known as Whittington Wharf, but I can never pronounce the correct pronunciation of the name. It's something like Meierstern or something like that. I never did get it right, so we call it the Mr. Men Wharf.
Slow down a bit, please, mate. I have slowed down, it's alright. It's not really, because it's not boat times.
Got the short one on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to another edition of Life on Board, Amy Joe. And it's going to be a quick intro because we're cruising at the moment, as you can tell by the shaky hand. And we're just coming up to a lock. So there's a boat coming out of it, so I don't want to hang about. I need to get in quick.
Was it Newmarton Locks?
Newmarton Locks.
Today.
There's a pair of locks today.
And then through the Chirk Aqueduct and through the tunnel, hopefully.
So we'll see you on the journey.
Yes.
Another lock with a broken paddle, presumably to be repaired during the winter stoppages. Well, we're through the Newmarton Locks. We're now coming down through St Martin's, and it won't be long now before we get to the Chirk Aqueduct. But it's wind's picking up a little bit, so it's turning decidedly chilly now. There you go. So Chris is doing a nice warm cup of tea for us. I'm on tick over, just waiting for the others to catch up, but there's only one paddle working on the lock, so it's taking a bit of a time to fill. So we're just cruising along on tick over. Looks like Granny's doing her washing today as it's dry. And of course, while Grandma's doing the washing, Grandad has got to have the afternoon siesta. Chirk Aqueduct is a 70 foot or 21 metre high, 710 foot or 220 metre long navigable aqueduct that carries what is now the Llangollen canal across the Chirk valley near Chirk. The aqueduct actually spans two countries. At one end you are in England and the other end you're in Wales. The aqueduct was designed by none other than Thomas Telford for the Ellesmere Canal. The foundation stone was laid on the 17th of June 1796 and it wasn't until 1801 before it was completed. It has a cast iron trough within which water is contained. The masonry walls hide the cast iron interior. The aqueduct was actually the forerunner to the Pont-Cysiltha aqueduct, and Chirk aqueduct was briefly the tallest navigable one ever built, and it is now a Grade 2 listed in both England and Wales, and it forms part of the Pont-Cysiltha Aqueduct World Heritage Site. The Chirk Aqueduct consists of 10 arches, each with a span of 40 feet, or 12 metres, and the water level is 65 feet, 20 metres above the ground, and 70 feet, 21 metres above the river Chirk. The stonework is yellow sandstone, and William Hazeldine provided the ironwork for the aqueduct. It was originally built with iron plates on the bottom of the base only, but iron side plates were added later in 1870 to alleviate leakage. A railway viaduct was later built alongside the aqueduct. It's slightly higher than the aqueduct, and it's an imposing structure as you travel along the aqueduct by boat.